Welcome back to what is assuredly the final episode of the Smithsonian Park build. We have a new path coming off of this little elephant observation area. This would be where the American Trail is in the Smithsonian Zoo. And then over here would be Amazonia. So basically it goes like South America into North American animals. We're not going to put many of these in at all. Mostly because we don't have space, but also because there's not particularly amazing options for these. It's a lot of smaller animals. We'll probably put in a lagoon over here to represent Amazonia. And then we're getting, of course, our Andean bears, which are going in here. The actual bear exhibit, you're going to go watch the new Avatar movie? All right, catch you later. Have fun. I still haven't watched that one. I kind of really lost interest in that. But yeah, this little Andean bear exhibit kind of has this like moat, which we've done here with the modular concrete wall piece that we've been using. Just like mirroring it over itself, getting rid of the fence on top. And then there's kind of just this like rock walled enclosure kind of back in behind it. So this is a very rough approximation of that, using, of course, my little decorative gate cover so that we can have a nice little gate entrance here for the Jeep coming down from up by the aviary. And this should work well enough for what this exhibit needs to be. Of course, it comes down to whether or not the animals are happy and can thrive in it. So on that note, 2 Osteraptors is what we're looking for. I did see on the webpage that they had baby Andean bears back in 2022, born to a different mother than one of the bears that's listed on the page currently. I'm not sure if these bears are still in the park. It's possible that this was a separate breeding group, and then now the 2 bears in the park are a new batch, to try and like breed more of them or something, right? Like, because the I think it was the mother. The father's the same as the male bear currently in the park, and then the mother for the 2022 cubs was different than the current female in the park, right? So they may be trying to like do another round of breeding or something currently. So I think I'm not going to introduce the juveniles. I'm going to go with the 2 current ones that seem to be in the park. You have a lot of traits. Intolerant actually doesn't really matter, so we could do... Sure, we'll do this. 1 male, 1 female for our Andean bears. And we'll toss those in. Make sure they're going to fit, and then we can go from there on cutting it down and making more space for other stuff, or putting something else in the park. We need to get lagoons going, so lagoon hatchery. For probably Dunk to just generically stand in for some unspecified amount of fish. And then yeah, we're kind of done. Like we got the big big cat area, the lions and tigers sorted out. Although that of course should be over here, but like we're going to be pretty well compressed on space by the time we get 2 more exhibits in here, which should be about right to get us to close to 5 stars with base game appeal, and maybe we find a place to put in a few more animals if we don't quite make that. All right, there's the lagoon hatchery done. So I guess what we do here, it's bigger. It's always bigger than I remember. Like every time I think about the lagoon, I'm like, it's not that big, right? And then it's always just the biggest goddamn thing you've ever laid eyes on. Okay, so next question becomes, how many dunks can we fit in a 1-tile lagoon? That's without even the hatchery. Big yikes. I hate trying to like put a lagoon in when you're compressed for space, because it's so hard to like judge where you're going to want everything else to be positioned. Like, if I have an arrow there, yeah, I can just put that there. That's probably about the best I'm going to get. Sure. Then we'll need a ranger station. Probably has to go in here. Maybe I should just get this sorted out first before I put this in. Figure out how much water they need and build from there. That's probably the way to do it. We'll slap you down here. Now, I guess the question would be, if we can't fit a dunk in this single-tile lagoon, and if we expand it... Yeah, I can't expand it anywhere. Well, I guess we'll just try it. Who knows if it'll work. Do we start with dunk unlocked, or do we have to research this separately? Alright, dunk is here. One Dunkachino, locking it in. Alright. Alright, exhibit is pretty cramped, but I think it'll work here. Actually, they don't need nearly as much water as I was kind of thinking. Yeah, they're super fine. Okay, great, cool. How about a little more cypress swamp to fill in some of this shite? Actually, if we scatter maybe more of the cypress trees around, it looks a little bit more like something. Well, I guess that's kind of it. That kind of does it. There's not much else for space, but it's a functional exhibit. Needs a few more embellishments, like up front, probably. Like some enrichment type stuff, maybe. Let's look at the names of these guys. So, we have Meet the Animals, Andy and Bear, Quito and Suyana. So you are the female, you are Suyana, and you are Quito. Okay. And these guys were 250 more appeal, getting us up to 500 away. Okay. And there's some dunk that I dug up. Thank you for the subscription on YouTube, Banshee Ghost. I appreciate it. 556 processed. Back for more. All right. Might as well grab a lagoon viewing gallery. Maybe we try to find some sort of more like structured looking lagoon viewing gallery, something that feels like an interior like show house or whatever. Because the Amazonia is like, you know, actually a building you enter. It's not like, obviously not an outdoor pool with a bunch of exotic fish in it in the east coast of the US. We put in a little climbing rack in here, you know, to sell the bear vibe some more. It's like raised edge. Looks a little weird, doesn't it? Maybe we bring this over a little bit further. So it's not like right on the waterfront. I like that she sat down right in the puddle. Sorry, I'm going to delete your puddle because I don't like there just being like a random little one tiny little puddle here. There. No more puddle for you, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think that works. This like platform being on ground level I think is fine too for like this whole thing. This whole structure is actually much larger. I just sunk it down more so it didn't feel like they would, you know, climb up to the top, fall off, and die from fall damage, which would not be conducive to a healthy zoo environment. 69 and 31 is done. Okay, so then we get these... We can attempt to breed these pretty soon and see if they're even going to work in the park. Alright, well the dunks being ready, I think we're just going to like... Why don't we just randomize these? I think that's fine, because they would represent a variety of fish, much like we did with the pterosaurs. Also don't know how many of these we can even have in the park, so we'll probably just end up hatching a bunch of them, and then filling them off one by one until they're comfortable if they ever can be comfortable. So this is how I've approximated the paths. We have like the main artery here that we kind of had to truncate that exits out the south of the park into like another parking lot back into, you know, DC proper. We very much compressed everything south of Lemur Island. That's the word. I couldn't think of the word lemur. Very much everything south of here is heavily compressed. We've gone ahead and put in these various shops and cafes and named them all properly now too. Steel Rock, Zoo Deli. We've got the Panda Overlook Cafe, except it's the Chungking Overlook Cafe. And yeah, there's kind of like a hard, kind of almost an L here in the way the paths like connect up. So we've just kind of approximated all that, crammed it all together here, and it just kind of is going to have to work. Really all we can currently do. That's a storm coming in, eh? Okay. Well, perfect timing, I guess. One more storm. What's one more storm between friends? All right, 3 of these guys. They are all aggressive and short-lived. That's fine. Did we not randomize? I think I didn't actually randomize. Well, whatever. Fuck. God damn it. Sure. It's fine. They're fish. You don't know what color a fish is. It's in the water. It's all bluish. Oh, are we, we're in a bad storm, huh? Better sedate the, raptors. And, grab the other facility here and sedate the other raptors. Fence broken. Over here. Hurry, please. One out. Got an ostrich on the loose. Medical. Are you actually doing anything? You're already all the way over here. You might as well get the Maya then. Fair. Okay. Okay, that's resolved. Storm is ending. Alright. Fish. One fish. Which is going to have to shave off even more space on this lagoon, unfortunately, making it even smaller and awkwarder. Yes, that's right. More awkwarder. Man, no matter where I put this, it doesn't even feel right. Alright. Can we at least keep one dunk? That'd be great, if we can at least fit one dunk in here. Feeder needs resupply. Why is that not getting properly taken care of? Asking real questions. It's the same goddamn feeder. Oh wait, this guy is on the way. Why did this take so long? I feel like this feeder's bugging the fuck out. 25. It is being fully filled up, so that's not the problem. Weird. Well, whatever. He can get to it automatically. He's just shit at it for some reason. Alright, 70% comfort is actually kind of better than I expected, maybe. Oh, but they don't have any actual data. Never mind. Never mind, it's nothing. It's meaningless. Meaningless information. Alright. 2 dunks is enough to be kept in this dinky little lagoon. Let's wake them up, even though they look like they're already dead, just floating on the surface of the water. That's no way for a fish to be. My camera is stuck in the lagoon. Okay, there we go. So we kept 1 male and 1 female. I am once again stuck in the lagoon. Why is the lagoon a black hole that the camera cannot escape from? There we go. It's like it was trying to back out through the concrete wall or something. It just got completely trapped. That's very funny. So, if these guys are woken up, how close are we to complete? 10, 8, 7, 7, 11, 500. Really? Still that far off, huh? Damn. Alright, we need at least 1 more animal in this park. We're going to do Red Wolf. It's going to be Deinonychus is the stand-in. As they are reddish. There are 2 of them. They're going to go here on the America Trail part of the park. I think this can probably accommodate 2 of these guys. At least I certainly hope it'll work. And if it doesn't, well, then we'll have to figure out something else. But maybe we can expand it if it doesn't work, because we do have a decent amount of room here. I don't think it should be too bad. Their exhibit doesn't look like too much, so I'm not too sure what I want to do to decorate it. Hard to get some much detail on some of the smaller exhibits in the park as well, as they don't, you know, attract as much attention in terms of like footage online. We'll throw a few rocks in here to decorate this. There seems to be some rocks in the exhibit. These rocks all look the same. Well, whatever. There we go. Deinonychus. I clicked off of multiple fossils. Very cool. Alright. This won't be really enough to get us there, I don't think, but maybe we can find a few other things, and that'll get it to work. And if not, I could always just end the park without technically formally meeting 5 stars. We're very close, so... Alright, more fossils. 22 and 78. Good to go. Hopefully that's all we need. Alright, these are our red wolves. 1 male, 1 female. Sonora and Calcarana on both for maximum redness. Cranking up the humble social. If the button will respond, there it goes. And sticking them in the pen. Well, after they're done cooking, of course. Alright, we got our 2 red wolves in. Unfortunately, Deinonychus, like too many animals in the game, is a heavy wetland need, which makes the exhibit just another bog, but at least it works. It's a functional exhibit. We're running out of space. We got to compress stuff, is what it is. So, the first one is Redford, a very creative name for a red wolf. Redford, the red wolf. And the other one is Kiawa, which is a complete opposite vibe of Redford. Because they're not very themed names. But alright. And that puts us up to 11161. We're still a few hundred appeal shy. What am I going to do about that? How many dryos do I need to make that up? Probably too many. I'll have to think about that. I've possibly made a small minor discovery, which is that this thing here doesn't actually count for dinosaur appeal. 11,161 appeal. We activate this, and it actually doesn't change this number, which is interesting. Okay, let's check it one more time. 11161. We can even delete it. 11161. Do these do anything in this game? Are these like non-functional actually? If we go to economy, total appeal 7716. That's the visibility. factored in. There's like almost no way to tell. Entertainment attractions 3 plus 300. Okay. So they're counting here, maybe. Yeah, they are counting. But they don't count for your actual star rating. So they don't help me get this park properly to 5 stars, unfortunately. So, once again, I'll have to find another solution. Alright, I am kind of determined to get this park properly to 5 stars. So to that end, we need a few more animals. We can use Morose as bobcats. There's 3 bobcats in the park. We probably got a perfect little spot to sneak these guys in their own exhibit. It's going to be pretty compact, but if it's just 3 little bobcats living their life, that's probably perfectly fine. In terms of other animals we need, there is a petting zoo farm type area in the zoo, and we could do that. So we could have a few Nasudos as stand-ins for cows, mix in maybe a few compies for chickens, and like go from there. Try to figure out what we need to make it viable. So let's research Nasudo. And we don't have like a large ceratopsy in the park either, so it kind of works in that sense to add a little bit to the vibe. So we might as well do that. Alright, we can dig up our Morose now and get started on our pair of bobcats. That's what they were. Holy cow, I could not think of the animal for a second. Fossils. We got a decent haul, which helps that we've cleared out the dig site already. Making this pretty quick and efficient. And then, yeah, the other thing we needed to work on was the final section of the park, which is going to be the barnyard animals, which I was originally going to exclude, but since I want to actually try to get the proper threshold requirement we need here for 5 stars, we actually need to have those in. We did Nasudo. That's our cow stand-in. There's chickens, which could be compies. That's the most obvious inclusion there. We have that unlocked. And then there's donkeys and some other stuff. So Hypsilophodon maybe works as like a donkey stand-in. Or a... maybe... You know what? Donkey should probably be some sort of pachycephalosaurid, right? Because they like headbutt. That makes too much sense. Yeah, no, I like that better. Maybe some homalocephales for little donkeys? That could work, conceptually. I think I'm okay with that. Alright, there's the rest of our Morose fossils. Let's go get started on Nasudo. Kaparowitz? Am I remembering correctly where Nasudo is from? Like the formation name? Maybe not. Yeah, it is Kaparowitz. I just, for whatever reason, I had it in my head that it was further north than this. I don't know why that happened. Dementia. Alright, there we go. It's insane that I had the name correct, and I just couldn't find it on the map. That's crazy. Alright, so the Morose enclosure is going to be this little fella over here, if it works. We're getting visibility from just like the nearby marine viewing gallery and other stuff, and conceptually it's just a simple off-the-path little mini exhibit, which you can't do too much with aesthetically. We'll try to maybe put a little bit more something in there for make that look like a little bit more than just nothing, but we got to make sure they'll actually fit in there first before we do anything special. And then for the barnyard, it's literally going to be a barnyard. So this is where our cows and donkeys and stuff will be, like the petting zoo. We could probably put in a petting zoo. That would make a lot of sense, actually. And then try to use this like picket fence to come off of it. I think we'll do that. Maybe I should look at actual like dinosaur encounter buildings in the workshop. All right, a good haul. That words are complicated. A good haul of cow fossils were the words I was trying to say. Faster extraction. We got to rest, and then we can get these other little fellas going. All right, so one male, one female, two only. I need to make these guys look like a bobcat. Let me pull up the reference material. So yeah, we'll do Great Sandy Desert, Calcarana. You get kind of this light brownish coat with some little black highlights kind of mixed into the fur, especially on the top of the animal and the face, and then a little bit lighter on the underside. I think that's not bad for like a bobcat look. Crank the humble, crank the social. And it's 3 of these guys. I was thinking 2, but I think I was mixing it up with the red wolves, of which there are only 2. There are actually 3 bobcats in the park, so we'll have to have 3 of these, which will just make it slightly harder to fit them in. Alright, so we're gonna maybe ditch this one, and you got a different amount of traits. You can be, wait, 1 male or 2 males? Yeah, 1 female, 2 males. 1 female, 2 males. Okay. And back to Kyperowitz to finish this off. There, of course, is the Nasuto's Buried Gold, giving us a nice bump in money. Fat 640k. Obviously at a state of the game where we don't really need it. So that takes care of that. We can get started on Homalocephaly, maybe? Okay, so the Morose. Not doing too bad on everything, except for the primary variety of its enclosure, which is arid. Terrain variety, I mean. So we'll put the meat feeder maybe like right here next to the fence on this one side, and then I guess we just kind of cram some arid in wherever, which is going to get rid of our trees here a bit. We kind of thread it in, so at least it just looks like it's just a little more arid enclosure. Like a little more trampled enclosure, as opposed to being actually like a freaking desert randomly.
Asset delivery confirmed.
We're actually missing pasture now. Fair enough. Missing me. Are you, though? Did I put in a... Nope, it's just right outside of your range. Fair enough. Okay. Alright, that's all 3. They'll be good to go. So, 3 Morose. Morose number 1. You are the female. Your name is Ollie. Ollie, the female bobcat. Morose number 2. Cheese. Morose number 3, Yoda. Alright, there we go. Okay, I've been fighting a crypto outbreak for like 5 minutes, so we should probably get this vaccinated, because this is being a real pain in my ass. I still need 2, so I might as well just send like these 3. Sure. Run that here. Go grab more, I guess, because everybody's kind of busy with other things. Rest you up. Okay. Yeah, then we can get our Nasutos at least set up. We can't synth them quite yet, but we can at least decide what form of Nasuto looks most like a cow, I guess. 2 cows in the park currently. There is a 1 Holstein, 1 Heifer, so bleh, cows. So we're doing a you know, one black and white cow, one brown and white cow. So we're doing, this is our black and white. This is probably the best we can pull off here. You can go much more black, but then you don't get much in the white. Actually, this isn't that bad. Actually, maybe if we do this blank, this is more cow-like. You know what? I think I changed my mind. I think we're gonna do... Yeah, we're gonna do this. We'll do this as our cow, I think. Will we? Probably. Can I see the actual cow? I think I can, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the actual cow does have a lot of more black than white. I think this is fine. So yeah, we'll do that. And then yeah, this will be our other one for a nice red, reddish brown. It is a fairly like reddish brown, so I think this is actually a good color for it. So those will be our 2 cows. Whenever, you know, we can get around to actually making these. All right, fossils are back, expeditions are done. Let's get some stuff set to run here. So you are done, but we can't quite fit all the pieces together. That's fine. We'll do that, the rest of that in a second. Because we need to get our attraction research, actually, because we don't have the petting zoo yet. So that is here. And here. Then we finish on Melocephaly. We've got Nasuto. We can start working on Compy if we want to put in a few chickens. Okay, if I put Compies in the pen and there's a petting zoo, does that cause problems? I have no idea. Compies shouldn't be a threat to a person unless there's multiple, theoretically. Well, let's try it. Let's do a little science. Alright, we got our brown cow and our black cow. Wait, why is this one only humble? How did this one become only humble? Weird. Okay. Well, let's not question it. Yeah, you. Okay, and Homelocephaly is not done yet. Right, we had one fossil left over, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Get that synced up. Grab some more chicken. Chicken. And then for our goat, it's a single solitary goat. She is a Nigerian dwarf goat named Fiesta. White with black spots. So, white, we have black spots. Kinda? See, these, not these, but these, yeah, those are very much green. Can't tell until you get zoomed in. That's probably the best I can do. Is this one? Which does not do a good job of feeling like spots, but I guess it's going to have to do. Just out of curiosity. Yeah, the male wouldn't look like much of anything else either. Okay, humble, social. You know what, I'm just going to slap a point of tolerance in there. Why not? One single, lone, solitary goat to have all the attention in the petting zoo. Okay, these Nasutos are flying over now. Slash cows. So this is what we got. We've got this barn-themed dinosaur encounter, and then we've got this nice white picket fence coming off of it, which is actually a base game object. Wood fence 1. And then we got a nice barn in here with some really nice little decorations to make it feel more properly barn-like. Ignore the plant sticking through it. Let's fix that real quick. There we go. And then various, you know, cow feeders, various feeding troughs or whatever. I don't remember what you would call this. I remember, like, I grew up on a farm, but I also don't remember what you would call a round, you know, hay feeder for cows. Beyond a feeder. Do I think there is a 1% chance we get a brand new free species in JWE3 all of Nasuto? No, I don't think it's going to ever happen again. Kind of surprised it ever happened in the first place. Ah, yes, these territories do overlap. That could be a problem. I guess it'll only be a small overlap, so it should be fine. Okay, brown cow is Willow. And the other cow is Magnolia. Alright, Willow and Magnolia. I mean, they match the cow vibe pretty well. The feeder's also like proportionally sized. Same with the barn. I mean, the barn's a little bit small actually, probably for a Nasuto, but it works. I see there's another tree inside there. Let's see what you've done, JWE. Don't think you can get away with that on my watch. All right, sorted. Okay. And is our goat ready to go? It is. One goat. Who is the goat? You are the goat. Wait, no, you are the goat. Nocturnal? Should a goat be nocturnal? Probably not. We'll take your lucky one. I clicked on you. Alright. There's Fiesta, our one goat. Oh my god, they can just walk right into that. That makes sense. Can I, yeah, turn on the collision. I would prefer they didn't walk through it. Yeah, collision mixed. Okay, it's just that one that specifically was completely, translucent. Okay, so that puts us up to 11451. We're missing 50 appeal. So I need at least one more animal in the park, I guess, and I gotta figure out what that's gonna be. Alright, we're probably gonna do chickens as compies, and we'll do Hypsilophodons as goats. That'll round out the park and the barnyard. It'll put us over the threshold for appeal that we need, but I think I'm happy to do both. Yeah, something feathery would work better, but we just don't have any options that aren't used already. Sinoceropteryx would have worked really well as a lemur, but it could have also worked as a chicken. What else was doing? Yeah, Hypsy, which we already have, presumably. That's somewhere here, yes. So then Compy's done. Is Hypsy just a single dig site? Yes. Alright. Well, so much for the petting zoo. R.I.P. You know what? Tornadoes do just heat-seeking right at barns. They just know. They know where there's a barn, they have to destroy it. This is a tornado thing. Why am I playing JWE3 on Monday? Because we need to finish up the Spark build. I probably need... Do I need to sedate? Yeah, I do need to sedate. Capture team, please. Control the raptor population. Which also means we gotta control this set of raptors. Alright. Maintenance. Maintenance team 3. Disabled. That's not great. Find and drive towards the tornado, please. Don't go in the pit. The barn's on fire. I also never open the shelters. Fair. Okay. Yep, get on it, maintenance team 4. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, the wolves are out. Okay, wait, maintenance is right here. This other maintenance team. Dinosaur threat from who? The elephants? Yes. Okay. Let's see. Is this intact? This looks intact. We'll just airlift them back. Nope. Hold on, sir. Turn around. Oh, there's already another guy going for that one, though. We'll be fine. Yeah. Okay. Not actually that bad of a tornado. Especially given that it cut straight across, like, multiple exhibits. Breached 4 exhibits, including a carnivore pen, and, like, not much actually happened from that. Alright, so there's the last copy. Alright, yeah, no, we're waiting on these. Yeah. Okay. Are we secure? Can you guys chill? Yeah, they're good. This is definitely a glitch feeder. I'm watching this thing that's put out like 3 goats since I started watching it. That's why this feeder specifically keeps like running out. There it goes again. Yeah, it's putting out goats nonstop. How many goats are in this pen right now? Because I feel like there's got to be like 30 goats in here. I actually don't see them. Maybe they despawn quickly. I mean, there's one there. That is shit. There's one there that is shit. I mean, there's a few places for goats to hide. There's a goat that's alive. There's another dead goat. I don't know, maybe they're killing them almost as fast as they can spawn too. Maybe I just should move this. Maybe like I move this back away from the edge more. If this raptor will move away as well. It really is only this one feeder that like constantly is running out. Because this one even like was down to 21 or something by the time this one emptied out. And this one was refilled after this one was added. I think it's fixed. How strange. What a strange, bizarre game. Okay. Alright, for chickens, we're going to do, well, the usual traits, of course. I'll probably even pump in some tolerance since there's some territory overlap. But then we're going to mix in, cosmetically speaking, some white ones, some red ones, and some brown ones. There's white and red chickens in the park for sure, going from the chicken pictures on the zoo website, but brown is also a very chicken color, so I think we'll include that. There's nothing about any, like, how many chickens there are or whatever, so I might just put in, like, I don't know, like 5 or something, maybe. We'll see. Go from there. And then for the Hypesies, where are we at here? 81 and 19, completed Hypesy. So these are going to be our donkeys. And for donkey, we have... Oh yeah, miniature donkeys, there's 4 of these. So George, Pat, Flash, and Giuseppe. Giuseppe? Whatever. Feels like a barnyard should have, like, a lot of chickens, really. Also, they're all Quillian. Did I mess up the incubation? Or did I just get horribly unlucky? I did mess up the incubation. Shit. Alright, back to the drawing board on the chickens. My B. We can take, like, a couple, I guess. Yeah, maybe I should have just took a couple here and seen if they work first. Yeah, let's just take 2 of the white ones. That way at least we're getting something done. Alright, here's our second batch. We're going to skip the gray one, the white one, whatever. We're going to take a couple of red ones, and we'll take 1 brown one. I'll take the... We'll take the non-nocturnal, since none of the other ones are nocturnal. So we'll have 5. That seems like a fair number of chickens for like a petting zoo environment, I think. Okay, so these are miniature Mediterranean donkeys. They are all males, and we are looking for 3 different color palettes. So one of these, let's do this first. Let's make this blank. One of these is like really white. So the best I can do is probably Yukon. So the white goat. White with some gray spots. I really can't do that. Yukon's going to have to do. Then there are brown with a black muzzle and brown with a white muzzle. I think we're just going to have to settle on brown, I feel like. I feel like we can't really do much without seeing a picture. It's hard to know if brown means like, you know, this reddish brown or like this like more chocolatey brown. I think we'll do Svalbard. That seems fine. And then the final goat is gray. No. Yes. Gray with a prominent dark marking along back and shoulders. I think we're just going to have to kind of go gray. Maybe... Which one was that? Yeah, maybe Great Sandy is good there. Let's do that. Humble. Social. 25% tolerant. Sure. Begin task. Alright, and that'll wrap up the animals for this park. Alright, we got all our goats, donkeys. We got all our donkeys in 2 batches, our Hypsilophodons. I did the first batch wrong, of course, but that's fine, because this batch only had 3 Svalbards and a Yukon. So we take 2 Svalbard males, 1 Yukon male here. And then the other batch gets us our last one, which is the Great Sandy here. And there's our squad. Should say yeah, no problem so far with the compies, the chickens in our barnyard area. They don't cause any issues with the petting zoo. I don't remember if we've ever tested this, so maybe this is not shocking to anybody else, but I kind of figured it would not work, but it does. It's good. So yeah, we got a good variety of chickens now. I kind of feel like I should do a little veg around this, because it looks weird. Just kind of... Oh, it just won't let me put anything there. Never mind. You can paint under it, but you can't put veg any closer than that, I guess. Fair enough. Alright, Hipsies. Now, these guys need wetland. That's going to be kind of annoying. Actually, I wonder how disruptive 4 Hipsies is going to be to this exhibit, now that I think about it. Well, if they're really bad, I can just get rid of them. Okay, looks like we're good. Alright, so we've got... Start with number 1. Number 1 was... This was the Great Sandy. This is the gray one. This one should be named... Flash. Don't we... Wait, Flash is already one of the cheetahs. Are there 2 Flashes in this park? Do they have a goat named Flash and a cheetah named Flash? Do we need to, like, write a letter? Or am I remember? Yeah. There's literally a cheetah named Flash and a goat named Flash. Or a donkey named Flash, rather. I can't believe they would do this to me. How dare they? Unacceptable. Anyway, then we got brown number 1. This is Pat. And we've got... Uh-oh. Claw marks. Might be chicken problems. This is the white one. This one is George. George the donkey. Oh no, Jorhi. George. And lastly, Giuseppe. Is that correct? Is that the right spelling? No, Giuseppe. Not graphical user interface. Graphical interface user. Giuseppe. Yes. Confirmed. Lock it in. Okay, what's going on here now? Close, remove threat to guests. Can you explain? Is it the compy? You have cohab discomfort anyway, because you don't like... You're just neutral to everybody. Okay. Well, if the compies are the problem, maybe I should remove them. Maybe time to remove the compies. Let's do a little science experiment. Yeah, that's what the swamp is. The swamp out behind the barn is where we've dumped all the animal shit. That's just our shit pile. Back when I was on the farm growing up, we had one of those. We had a giant pile of cow shit out back behind the barn. Just had this hideous river draining off of it down to the creek. Disgusting. Horrible thing. Terrible. Alright. I'm going to sedate and move out the compies, mostly because I want to understand if that's actually what did this. The chickens will have to be in our imagination, maybe. But also, given that the one homalocephaly is not happy, why can I not click on you? Sir? Why can I... Hello? There we go. It's like mid-animation and just can't be touched. Fiesta's not happy, so... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. It is, in fact, the compies. It just took a while for it to be a problem. Kind of surprising how that works, I guess, but that is what it is. I'm going to get rid of them. Okay, it's complete. So, we've got the entrance here. You start in town, of course. You go across the crosswalk, enter the zoo proper, through the turnstiles. We have the, we start with the Africa Trail. It's the first part of the park we built, obviously, with the cheetahs and the various African herbivores, all based off of nothing in particular. Since this part of the park is undergoing renovation, we just made this up wholesale in terms of its visual design. From there, we went and built the Asia Trail. We added in our sloth bears over here. Then we had clouded leopards. Were these clouded leopards? Yeah, these were our clouded leopards, I think. And then we had our pandas in the form of Asian stegosaurs. And this pit exhibit, that was a real ball ache to build. We put in the Amargas' elephants, this big trampled down area, and this vast barn that you can actually go inside of as a viewing gallery. Wow, cool. Not exactly the correct aesthetic or vibe for the barn itself, for like the actual real life like exhibit, but close enough. And we put in the aviary and the bird section nearby with the ornithomimus standing for emus that were in this section of the park, and then oviraptor for cassowaries, and then various juvenile pterosaurs standing in just for various exotic birds of the birds in the aviary proper. Combination of Kyogjar and Dimorphodons in there. Then we had the Przewalski's horses as these iguanodons. We put in the various little other exhibits here, kind of in the main stretch of the park, I guess, in a way, with the Lemur Island as the Microceratus and Psittacosauruses, and then the reptile sector with Dimetrodon standing in for the Cuban crocodiles and an Irritator standing in for the American crocodile. We had to move the big cat section around the back because we couldn't fit it where it's supposed to go because it had to be too big in game to have this multi-terrorist design. We have tigers and lions with Cryolophosaurus the lions, Velociraptors the tigers. And then we put in the Amazonia, is this just represented solely by this lagoon with these dunks in here standing in generically for the various Amazon fish they have in that exhibit. That whole thing should be like interior, but there's no real good way to do that, so that's good enough there. And then we've got the Andean bears, another South American exhibit. We're using the Osteoraptors for those across this nice moat. And then for the North American animals, we put in the bobcats. 3 of them, Ollie, Yoda, and Cheese here. And then we have the 2 Red Wolves, Yawa and Redford as Deinonychus, because they have a nice red coat to them. And we didn't bother putting in any of the other little American stuff. There's not really good stand-in for otters. And we also were very, very compressed for space. We did put in the attraction on the map that's labeled the Squirt Zone. Don't think about it too much. It is there. And there's another fucking storm already? Really? Can't you see I'm doing a thing, Mother Nature? And then lastly, we put in the farm area, the petting zoo area. What's the actual name for this? This is the Kids Farm. Yes, the Kids Farm. Can we name this? Yes. Kids Farm. Now, is it kid as in a kid owns it? No, it's kids as in... well, it's like that. That's how it's formatted on their map. It's a farm for kids, or a farm owned by a group of kids, maybe. Perhaps. So yeah, so that's a, petting zoo where the kids can go feed, theoretically, the chickens and some other stuff. Cows and goats. And we've represented these with, things that evoke those, right? So, and they all work well as another little herbivore paddock with this very nice barn decoration. And I'm pretty happy with that. And that is everything. So, is it perfect? No. Is it perfectly representative of the actual park? Really, no. Am I very happy with the overall vibe of the park? Yes. And it was always meant to be inspired by, not to be a perfect recreation, which would be insane. So, yeah. There'll be a link to the park where you can download it on the workshop in the description of the video, and like the code and everything. I'm going to go ahead, put in a few more little signs and decorations, but I'm not going to include that in this video. And I'm not going to include this storm, which is sure to destroy the park. So, yeah, until next time. I guess I should say, I don't know when next time is, right? Of course, obviously, the current state of JWE3 is very weird. Updates aren't coming out. Things are delayed. We got nothing in April. So, I'm going to probably take a break from doing parks until we know if we're getting a DLC soon or not, and, like, what the state of things are. And maybe we'll do some Prehistoric Kingdom, or maybe we'll try to wait for that update, and we'll do a little bit of just take a few weeks off and just kind of live stream without making videos out of it, play some Minecraft or something. I don't know. We'll see.